I'm here in Killeen off Florence Road, where on Friday, skeletal remains were found in this field behind me. We now know that those remains belong to Private Second Class Gregory Morales, who's been missing since August 2019. The Boys and Girls Club location here in downtown Killeen has nearly 500 members. But they're hoping with this brand new clubhouse facility that number will not only double, but triple. Todd, I'm here at Panel Specialists Inc. in Temple, where earlier today, officers responded to that shots fired call. NIA officials say with the surge in numbers, social distancing and practicing those hand hygiene measures are now more important than ever. But as long as you schedule a private screening, you can still pop in for a movie.
Hello, welcome to your private screening at the Beltonian Theater.
Thank you. Todd and Naya, the neighborhood is pretty quiet right now, but less than an hour ago, detectives were combing through this home trying to find answers as to what led to the tragic event. Police responded to a call this morning just before noon about the shooting. Officers say when they arrived on the scene, they found a 5-year-old boy unresponsive with a gunshot wound to the head. First responders tried to revive the child, but he didn't make it. We're told this community is full of a number of children, and neighbors call the loss a tragedy.
I got 3 boys. I wouldn't know how to react to even if I woke up or just walking into the situation, I would be hysterical.
Police say at this time they believe the gunshot wound was self-inflicted.
At this point, it sounds like it's just an accident. Again, at this point, from what I gather, it wasn't some random drive-by or anything like that.
It's unclear who owned the gun or how the child got a hold of it, and so far no charges have been filed. Now stick with us. Coming up here at 10, we'll have more on this developing story as we speak with more neighbors. Olivia Levada, 25 News, Killeen. Todd, Private First Class Vanessa Guillen was last seen on Wednesday, and her loved ones say they need everyone's help to find her. Giovanna Guillen has been looking for her sister, Private First Class Vanessa Guillen, for nearly 3 days.
She usually messages us like how you're doing or something because she's like 4 hours away from us.
Vanessa was last seen on Fort Hood in the parking lot of her Regimental Engineer Squadron headquarters Wednesday afternoon.
She was just gone, so she just disappeared.
Her family has traveled from Houston to Fort Hood to look for her. Juan Cruz says he usually speaks with his girlfriend every single day.
Every minute that passes is like killing me inside slowly. I just hope she's okay and hopefully we find her.
The 20-year-old soldier's car keys, barracks room key, identification card, and wallet were later found in the armory room where she was working on Wednesday.
I'm really scared. I don't know what to expect, but I do know like we have to be prepared. But I don't really know how we prepare for these kinds of things.
The family is asking for anyone with information about where Vanessa could be to say something.
If you can help us with anything, I really appreciate you. Anything helps. Call the police, something. But please don't be afraid.
Special agents with the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command are involved in this case and asking the public for assistance. An extensive search is now underway by military members as well as civilian and military police. Olivia Levada, 25 News. As many parents have taken on the title of home educators, I spoke to one mom who's now wearing the hats of parent, home educator, and therapist. Since Sawyer Clark battles spinal muscular atrophy, he has a higher risk of getting a more serious case of COVID-19.
It's a serious thing that we're really worried about that.
So worried, in addition to sheltering in place, the family decided to stop taking the 10-year-old to his essential therapy sessions.
Slight sniffle or a cough. It could be, just a head cold, but for Sawyer, it could be a full-blown upper respiratory infection.
He's not alone. Kelly Barr, owner of Kids Therapies in Killeen, says more than half of her clients have stopped bringing their children to her physical, occupational, and speech therapy clinic.
We're hanging on to keep their skills where they're at and progress them forward. And when they miss for protracted amounts of time, they decline in skills.
To the left a little bit.
The clinic turning to telehealth to make sure patients don't fall behind.
For me to get stronger.
And relying on occupational therapists like Kaylin Andrus to get the job done.
He said to me that touched my heart is, Miss K, I'm so glad to see you. This is kind of a routine now. So the fact giving these kids back a routine is so key in their everyday function because it's been so off.
You got it?
Yeah. And Sawyer's mom, Brandy Clark, says there's a way you can help too.
It may not affect you as severely as someone like Sawyer, but just to protect everybody in general, just stay up with the hand washing, sanitizing everything. Definitely staying at home if you don't have to be out.
Barr says a large percentage of her patients fall into the medically fragile category. Olivia Levada, 25 News, Bell County. Joel, I'm here at Holy Moly Tattoos and Piercings in Killeen. They decided to reopen today, limiting one person per artist at a time. The owner of Holy Moly Tattoos and Piercings has decided to open up in Killeen, even though he could face a hefty fine.
No money coming in, and we just have to do what we got to do.
25 News was the only local TV station to witness Infamous Ink reopen yesterday as part of a growing movement among tattoo shops.
We can't just sit around and hope any longer. We've got to do something.
The shop owner says they already operate under some of the most strict guidelines, but they are also taking other steps like social distancing.
We wear gloves, we wear masks, we wear safety gear. This is all things that we are required to carry just to be a licensed tattoo shop in the state of Texas, alone from the pandemic.
Desiree Nino has been waiting to get work done.
They're really close to you and they're piercing and tattooing, so besides the pandemic, they have to be clean.
When Governor Abbott announced the reopening of nail salons and hair salons, tattoo parlor owners like Chris Reese with Mighty Jackalope Tattoos expected to be included in the list of businesses allowed to get back to work.
It'd be nice to know when we have the opportunity to go back to work, be able to pay for our bills. I understand why there are some shops opening right now. I don't hold it against them.
Open up your business.
Advocacy group Freedom Initiative Texas has joined a nationwide movement to get the entire country to peacefully open back up. They also stand with tattoo shops.
I think they should continue to stay open. I don't know if you've ever been inside of a really awesome tattoo shop, but they are very sterile.
In the meantime, Moly is serving his community, one client at a time.
Everybody's got to wear a mask, and we're limited to one customer per artist and limited to 2 artists at a time.
Moly says they have not received a citation for reopening, and in fact, he's not worried about that. He says he tried applying for a PPP loan with no response, but if he would have been able to get his hands on that money, he would have waited before reopening. Olivia Levada, 25 News, Killeen.